Android users, you can now have TYT in the palm of your hand. Our TYT app is available for download in the Google Play Store. Just go to tyt.com/app to find out more.
A new report indicates that the Justice Department is currently investigating Elliott Broidy. He is a big Republican fundraiser who worked closely with Trump. The allegations include the allegation that Elliott Broidy sought to influence to sell his influence with the Trump administration by offering to deliver US government actions for foreign officials in exchange for tens of millions of dollars. So here are some examples. Prosecutors are scrutinizing a plan that Broidy allegedly developed to try to persuade the Trump administration or Trump government to extradite a Chinese dissident back to his home country, a move that was sought by the Chinese president. Also, there are allegations that he sought $75 million from a Malaysian business official if the Justice Department ended its investigation of a development fund run by the Malaysian government. The Malaysian probe has examined the role of the former prime minister in the embezzlement of billions of dollars from the fund. So right now, Broidy is denying everything. He's saying these allegations against him are an effort to smear him. It's being done by his enemies. But again, this is another person tied to Trump who's trying to do favors for foreign governments. And to get tens of millions of dollars in return for that. So
this story just came out.
Yeah.
And so let's talk about Broidy overall. First of all, Maz, during the break, as we saw this story happening, coming across the news, was pointing out. I mean, we're talking about Russian interference, or maybe it was JR. We got Malaysian interference, we got Chinese interference, we got United Arab Emirates interference, and so Broidy was doing several different international deals. One of them was to try to get a security deal with the United Arab Emirates that was valued at $600 million. So UAE and Saudi Arabia are aligned against Qatar. It gets a little confusing, okay? But they wanted to make sure that the US government turned against Qatar. Recently it was revealed that Rex Tillerson, in fact, stopped them from invading Qatar. And that might have been one of the reasons that Rex Tillerson was fired. Now, why does Trump want to do Broidy any favors? That's the super interesting part. And that's why all of these scandals could mean really bad news, not for Broidy, yes, for him as well, obviously, but for Trump.
And once you have someone, okay, if you're the president is willing to do favors for you because you've already covered for him, you're like, how can I parlay this in the way for me to make some money?
Yes, of course.
Tens of millions of dollars at a time.
Yeah.
So this now connects to potentially one of the mistresses.
Yes.
Okay, so Donald Trump has paid off two different mistresses that were both adult film and stars, right? One was Playboy model, the other one did adult movies, and paid him $130,000 and $150,000. Everybody now knows that, right? That was McDougal and Stormy Daniels. But there was a third Playboy model that was paid off by the same lawyers that were involved, Michael Cohen on Trump's side and the same lawyer on the model side, okay? And the same name was used in all the cases, the same fake alias for the man, Dennison, okay? But as soon as that story came out, or in fact, when they raided Michael Cohen's house and they got all the information from Michael Cohen and all of his documents, Broidy immediately raised his hand and said, it was me. I'm the one that paid off the third one, not Donald, well, he didn't bother saying not Donald Trump, but that was the implication. And that one was not for $150,000. It was for $1.6 million. She got an abortion. Okay, now, Broidy's official story is, no, it was me, it wasn't Trump, it was me. He never had an affair with a Playboy model before. He doesn't have that history. He does have another history that I'm gonna tell you about that is super relevant here. But he said, no, it wasn't Trump, it was me. And I mean, she got the abortion. I didn't pay for her abortion. I just happened to give her $1.6 million and she happened to get an abortion right around the same period. But that's not what I paid for. Okay, so now why would Trump do any favors for Broidy? Why would he help him get a deal with the United Arab Emirates or Malaysia or China? This is one potential reason. So what is Broidy known for? And this is a doozy on two fronts. One, earlier in his career, he paid off a politician to get him cleared on a mistress. He paid off the mistress of a politician in New York. So that is his MO. And guess what? He got caught. And when he got caught, guess what he did? He flipped on the politician, took a deal from a prosecutor, and gave him everything he wanted so that he could bust the politician. Uh-oh.
Yeah, this is fascinating. So the the Justice Department, prosecutors with the Justice Department have subpoenaed Steve Wynn and all of his interactions, email interactions with Broidy. So they're going to be looking into that. Also, just to give you a little more detail about the Chinese dissident, it was an individual who was. The Chinese government wanted to extradite him from the United States. He actually fled China, came to the United States because he believed that the Chinese government was attempting to silence him, trying to retaliate against him for some reason. And so Broidy was trying to work with officials from the UAE to put pressure on the United States to send this Chinese dissident back to China.
Broidy had a business partner as he dealt with UAE, that's the United Arab Emirates, and Saudi Arabia. There's a guy named Nader, okay? Nader has already flipped. Broidy has a history of flipping, and these are some heavy, heavy charges. I mean, if he doesn't flip, he can go to jail for decades. He flipped on much lesser charges in New York. Tick, 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 tick. There's no way Trump makes it to 2020. No way. He's a lifelong criminal. That is what he does. He can't help himself.
Yeah.
Did he do these deals with Broidy and Nader and the other guys? Inconceivable that he didn't. That is my opinion. So we'll find out soon enough. He better hope that Broidy doesn't flip on him. Nader already has. And so have 4 other guys that have already flipped on him. Flynn flipped on him, et cetera, et cetera. He better hope that Cohen and Broidy don't flip on him. If they do, and Manafort's about to get, it's possible that he gets convicted soon. If he does, will he then go, oh, well, I gave it a good shot. Okay, here's the evidence on Trump. Okay, tick, 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 tick. He's on borrowed time.
We're waiting on the tweet from Trump to call Broidy a piece of garbage. I never liked him. I barely knew him. I had a couple phone calls with him. I never actually interacted with him.
Right.
So greed is a hell of a drug because this guy's a venture capitalist, made tons of money. Sit back, relax, get old, and just chill out. Instead, you have to interact with all these foreign governments, try and bribe off people to make sure you have some influence over this politician, over that politician. Sit down and relax. But they can't help themselves.
But Jared, that's how he made the money in the first place.
Yeah. So
it's not like he's like, I guess he thought one big last heist, right? But look, Wilbur Ross, the Commerce Secretary, news from Forbes that I reported earlier in the week that he might have stolen as much as $120 million from his partners and clients. And why? He already has purportedly $700 million. Because that's how he got the $700 million.
These guys are all so slimy and they're surrounded by sliminess, and the quarterback of slime is Donald Trump.
Yes.
It's a team of slime bags and scumbags and slime buckets, whatever the term is. It's just because it's at what point is there? I don't even know if there's somebody who is somewhat clean on the team anywhere in the White House. Because at some point, I would think if you have any kind of logical mind, you're going, oh my God, this boat has so many leaks. Every moment as I'm spinning something and trying to keep it, oh no, that guy's not with us. That guy was, oh no, that had nothing to do with us. Nothing. At some point you go, throw your hands in the air and go, I'm out. I can't keep up with this.
No, it's crazy.
It is so dirty.
It is dirty, and there's so many. You're right. There's so many people who are now, facing investigations, on trial. There was a story that came out today regarding a longtime business partner of Ivanka Trump's.
Yeah.
He's being investigated for fraud and tax evasion. I mean, come on. There's a lot going on.
You want to hear the funny part is that the cleanest guy might actually be, in this context alone, Steve Bannon. Because Steve Bannon told the author, and that's what got him fired in the first place, that taking that Trump Tower meeting was basically, I don't remember the exact words, but the equivalent of treason, right?
Yeah.
And so he's like, he was smart enough to be like, I don't want any part of Russia. I don't want any part of the other countries, right?
Yeah.
And if Steve Bannon is the cleanest guy in the room, man, that room is dirty.
Well, he also said in the book that the money laundering is what's going to bring them down.
Yes,
he
exactly.
even said it.
Yeah.
So it's like it is. it's like a really bad. I used to say he had a reality show on one network. Now he's got a reality show on every network, including this network. All of us are talking about him, and every day a new character gets introduced. Yeah. You know, I'd heard of Broidy, but now, Broidy's back. He's got a recurring on this. He's back.
He's going to get royalties for a long time.
Yeah.
2 easy ways to follow the Young Turks. One is hit the subscribe button down below. Then you're a TYT subscriber. And second is ring the bell. And when you do that on YouTube, you're notified of our videos.